What's up everybody, welcome back. My name is Derek from Directions. Today's video we're actually going to be unboxing and reviewing this massive 23.8 4K resolution portable monitor from UPERFECT. Okay, so the devices we're going to be trying out with this UPERFECT 23.8 inch 4K resolution portable monitor is going to be the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. We are going to try out Samsung DeX with this. And then the next one we're going to be trying out is going to be the Nintendo Switch 2. Obviously, we're going to have the docking station to try this one out. And then the next one is going to be the MacBook Air, the M4 edition. And then I'm going to attach the portable monitor to this right here, this little thing right here in the background. That's my iBuy Power Slate 8 mesh gaming computer, which I never game on, but I do use for content creation. And the last device that we're going to be using the portable monitor with is going to be the PlayStation 5, the digital edition. So I didn't have enough money to buy the disc edition, and I definitely don't have enough money to buy the Pro edition. But if there are any Sony reps watching this that want to collaborate with the PlayStation 5 Pro, hit me up. Let's go ahead and unbox it. It looks like we have some stickers and some box tongues that we have to kind of rip into. So we have this kind of holographic sticker right here, and it looks like that's it. So let's go ahead and take our handy dandy unboxing machete and let's cut into it right here. Okay, so inside the box here, because this is a fragile product, we have some more foam, which looks like it's going to be sandwiching some cardboard boxing in there. And then we have the actual monitor. So let's go and pull the monitor out for now. Again, this is a 23.8 inch monitor. We'll come back to this. Let's check and see if there's anything else in the box. And in the box, we then have the user manual for the 4K UPERFECT 23.8 portable monitor. And this is actually a colored pamphlet or kind of user manual. It actually has a whole bunch of information here, especially when it comes to the adapters. So further inside the box, it looks like UPERFECT gave us an all-inclusive package. This looks to be like a HDMI cable. Yep, so HDMI to HDMI. Again, this comes in the packaging. It looks like they gave us something else. This is going to be, let's see, what else is this? This is a USB-C to USB-C. And then we have another one, which is going to be, let's see which one this is. Another USB-C to USB-C. So the fact that UPERFECT sends over two USB-C to USB-C cables makes me wonder if these USB-C cables are actually going to be power delivery and or display delivery. So very, very important, just in case you don't want to and or cannot use HDMI cables with your computer setup. Looks like we have additional packaging inside here. So this is going to be high quality digital adapter. Let's open this up really quick. And this is going to be an adapter for USB-C to USB-C. So I'm assuming it's going to be something along the lines of this. And then we have more adapters in here. Let's see. UPERFECT really hooks you up whenever you purchase one of these monitors. And so let's see what's inside of this packaging. This is another adapter, obviously. And this is going to be HDMI to HDMI. So this is going to be looking along the lines of something like this. There you go, HDMI to HDMI. And so these adapters look like they're made to be placed inside of the portable monitor, so that way it's more cable management style, so that way you don't have a cable jungle. Another adapter here, I think this is probably going to be USB-C to USB-C again. Let's check it out. And yep, this is another USB-C to USB-C. So here's the other USB-C wire. And so you would have one of these wires connected to your computer, and then you would have this section with adapter connected to your portable monitor. I do like the fact that UPERFECT did provide all of these extra cables, and it's just really, really high quality cables as well. So you don't have to go out to Best Buy or whatever, or Amazon, and buy additional cables and or adapters because they're included into the box. We do have another thing over here on the right hand side. This says a data cable. So let's see what this little unboxing is. And let's open it up and oops. Oh, okay, so this is going to be the power delivery brick. And I think this is going to be mainly optional because if your particular device, let's say your Legion Go, your Nintendo Switch, your MacBook Air, if that device provides power via USB-C, this is just going to be backup. So this is going to be a charging brick that's utilized if that device doesn't provide power via USB-C, which most devices nowadays in 2025 do provide electrical power, but it is nice that UPERFECT adds a 45 watt charger in the box just in case. Okay, so now let's go ahead and peel the wrapper off of the actual monitor. Again, this is pretty delicate and fragile, so you want to make sure that you're careful when you're unboxing this. Anyways, let's go ahead and take the monitor out. Let's go ahead and take this plastic portion off here. And on the back side, you can see that there are going to be 4 holes right here. This is going to be for VESA mounting. So if you wanted to use this actual monitor as a desktop monitor and not just make it portable, you could actually connect a VESA adapter or mount, and then you can actually use this as your dedicated desktop monitor. On the back side of the monitor, you can then see your settings area over here, which is going to be some buttons. And you can see that the buttons are kind of hidden because this little area is actually going to be a monitor kickstand. So you can see that I can raise the kickstand like this, and that's going to be your actual portable monitor stand. Whenever I open up the kickstand, you can then see that the buttons are visible and more reachable. And then same thing for the other side. Whenever the kickstand is open, you'll then have access to your HDMI port, your USB-C port, and then another USB-C port. So you have 2 USB-C ports built into this particular monitor, 1 HDMI port, and then the menu buttons on the left-hand side, so that way you're able to go ahead and adjust any of the coloration and some of the resolution as well. And so the kickstand here is actually really good. You can see that there's quite a lot of tension, and it feels like there's different preset settings that you can use. But the kickstand does have little rubberized, I guess you could call it, pads over here, so that way whenever you do have this kickstand on the desk, these rubberized pads are going to grip the table or whatever surface that you're using, so that way the monitor doesn't slip and fall. Alright, so let's go ahead and flip over the monitor here, and you can see here that there is a little bit of a protective film here, and this is just going to be for packaging. This isn't going to be protective film that you keep onto your particular monitor. And then, so let's go ahead and take this thing off. Like that. Let's go ahead and attach this portable monitor to different devices and talk tech specs. Okay, so full disclosure, I've done the cable management from connecting HDMI to USB-C and all that stuff to the monitor off screen, just because I didn't want to bore you with all that kind of cable management aspect. But ultimately, let's go ahead and start off with the Nintendo Switch 2. Here is my Nintendo Switch 2, and then off screen over here, you should probably see on this camera over here, this is actually going to be the docking station. So the Nintendo Switch 2 docking station is using the proprietary Nintendo Switch charging brick, or the charger, if you will. And then that's connected via USB-C to the docking station. And then for the display, we have the HDMI port on the Nintendo Switch 2 docking station connected to the UPERFECT 4K monitor. So here is the Nintendo Switch 2, and then let's go ahead and plug it in. Currently the monitor is off because there's no display, but once I connect my Nintendo Switch 2 here, it should actually turn on, because then it should have some type of receiver or some display output. So let's make sure that we have the Nintendo Switch 2 plugged in. So now that the Nintendo Switch 2 is docked and it is all attached, you can actually see that the Nintendo Switch 2 is connected and delivering display output to this monitor. So let's go ahead and try a game out really quick. So since both the UPERFECT monitor and the Nintendo Switch 2 support HDR, you will have the option to select HDR when you are actually gaming on the Nintendo Switch and this particular monitor. And if you're not familiar with HDR or high dynamic range on gaming, it pretty much just makes things much more clearer as well as more vibrant. And so correct me if I'm wrong there, but let me go ahead and set this up. Alright, so without getting too much into detail about the Nintendo Switch 2 while it's docked, you can actually get up to 4K resolution with the Nintendo Switch 2, and this UPERFECT 4K monitor actually makes that 4K-ish, because I have Mario Kart World and kind of free roam, and my Shy Guy dude is just kind of driving around the map, and I'm looking down at this particular graphics kind of setup. The HDR, the 4K, the 60 frames per second is all going to be utilized on this 4K monitor, because this particular monitor from UPERFECT is actually going to support 4K resolution. It is going to have 60 hertz of just refresh display rate, and then also it does have high dynamic range, which is all just kind of checking some boxes off for me as a gamer, in my personal opinion. In terms of gaming, let's go ahead and try out the PlayStation 5. Okay, so now we have the PlayStation 5 connected. Again, this is the discless version, the digital version, if you will. And again, I did all the kind of cable management behind the screen, and I have HDMI to HDMI, as well as the proprietary Sony or PlayStation 5 kind of charging wire. And then for the portable monitor, I have it connected via USB-C for power delivery, and then again, the HDMI cable for display output. So let's go ahead and turn on the PlayStation really quick. There's that signature PlayStation beep. And so just like it did with the Nintendo Switch 2, the UPERFECT portable monitor is actually outputting 4K resolution. Again, really crisp graphics. The color is nice and vibrant. As I'm looking at Helldivers 2, I can't complain about the graphics or the refresh rate for the Nintendo Switch 2 or the PlayStation 5 when you do have them attached to this UPERFECT portable monitor. So if you're looking to game on this particular portable monitor, it is actually really good because it has all those kind of technical specs built into it. Overall, I'm very impressed with the kind of graphical output that this little big monitor actually is able to do, because I was playing Helldivers, I was playing UFC 5, I was playing Mario Kart World and Tears of the Kingdom, and everything just looks really good. And so in terms of entertainment and or gaming, this is probably one of the best monitors that you could take with you, so that way you can game on a larger display on the go. Okay, so the last two devices we talked about is going to be the Nintendo Switch 2, and then I attached the PlayStation 5 and tried out some games. I don't have an Xbox and I can't find my Legion Go right now. So now let's go and switch gears and go from entertainment and gaming over to productivity and just daily computing with the MacBook Air. Alright, so I am going to be attaching the MacBook Air M4 via USB-C to USB-C to the portable monitor. And so I'm going to go ahead and attach the cable here. And then let's go ahead and load up the MacBook Air. Oh, it's already on. And so let's go ahead and press the Touch ID thing. You can actually see my script and my notes here on the actual display. Okay, so of all the devices I've connected so far, I would have to say that the MacBook Air actually connected to this portable monitor pretty quickly, probably the fastest. And so once you connect the MacBook Air via USB-C to USB-C on the portable monitor, it's almost instantaneous. You do have to kind of finagle the settings a little bit to make sure that you're extending the display if that's what you want, or mirror the display. I personally like to do productivity based type things, so I like to have my external monitor be the kind of extended monitor, and then my main built-in laptop screen to kind of just be my main screen. And so you can see here on the kind of built-in display with the MacBook Air, I have my notes / my script for the UPERFECT 4K monitor. And for those of you who are curious about what model this is going to be the UColor T3 portable 4K 23.8 inch portable monitor. So I don't think I mentioned that earlier in the video, but there you go. Anyways, so I have my built-in display here. Again, you can see my notes here. I could have whatever daily computing task I have over here. And then on the actual kind of display monitor, the portable monitor, I am watching a video of my sister's YouTube channel where she's making card crafts. And so this is kind of like the perfect setup, because if you're on the go a lot, maybe you travel a lot, or maybe you have like a mobile office, maybe you're a van lifer and you want to have an external monitor that doesn't take up a lot of space, and then also you want kind of a lot of tech specs. Again, this UPERFECT portable monitor is 4K resolution. It is 23.8 inches big, and then it has high dynamic range, it has 60 hertz refresh rate, and then also you have two USB-C ports built into it. An HDMI port, has blue light filtering, and the list kind of goes on and on and on. So if you're looking to purchase this portable monitor as kind of an extension display for your daily computing tasks, your Excel spreadsheets, your whatever, your Word documents, you can actually connect this particular monitor from your MacBook and or your Windows PC over to this portable monitor, so that way you can always have that kind of extension monitor and be more productive. So let's go and switch it up again. Let's go ahead and connect this portable monitor to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, so that way we can use Samsung DeX and check and see if that's going to fit your needs. Okay, so more connection to things. I did connect my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 via wire, USB-C wire, to the USB-C portion of the actual portable monitor. So there are two different functions that you could use when your phone is connected physically via the USB-C wire to this particular monitor. You can have it just mirror your phone. So if you just wanted to have a larger display to mirror whatever is on your phone onto your portable monitor, you could do that. But with Samsung DeX, you can actually have more of a desktop style, so your phone basically becomes a computer. So whenever you have the kind of desktop style DeX activated on your portable monitor, you use your screen on your phone, and that's going to be your trackpad, and then you're able to open different types of windows on your actual monitor. Again, it's mimicking as if you have a actual computer in front of you. Whenever you do have your phone, your Samsung Galaxy phone connected to this portable monitor, you can, one, yes, do media consumption. Two, you can mirror your device. So that way, if you just, again, want to have your phone mirrored onto this portable monitor, you can do that. And then three, you can have a full-blown kind of Windows or Samsung desktop experience. So that way, if you are on the go, you have the option to just bring your phone and the portable monitor and maybe like a peripheral or two, like your mouse or your keyboard. And then you could ultimately have your Samsung Galaxy phone using DeX and then have that kind of mobile office. So if you're looking for this portable monitor to connect to your Samsung device for kind of like a mobile on-the-go office without actually having to have a laptop, this might be your setup. Okay, so now I have the last device on our list, which is going to be my iBuy Power Slate 8 Mesh desktop computer. And so I typically use this desktop computer to power these two monitors, and that's going to be my typical kind of everyday setup. But for today, again, we're going to be connecting the iBuy Power Slate 8 Mesh. And honestly, I have to say that I'm very impressed, because as soon as the monitor and the desktop kind of recognize each other within like milliseconds, my settings on the desktop PC punched out almost immediately onto the portable monitor, and everything looks really good. And so I do have my wireless keyboard here and my wireless mouse, and I'm actually able to just pull up my stuff here on my actual monitor, and I'm able to just look at everything. So if I didn't have my two monitors here, or maybe I wanted to add to my two monitors, I could easily attach a VESA mount to this 23.8 monitor and then use it as a new display as part of my just daily setup. So this monitor doesn't have to be a portable monitor. I mean, obviously it's labeled as a portable monitor, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a portable monitor. You could use this monitor as your daily computer setup, so that way if you wanted to have three monitors, or maybe you're just in the market to just get a new monitor and you don't want to have something super huge like these ones, you could actually go to the UPERFECT website. I'll put the link down below, and you're able to get UPERFECT's $500 monitor at a cheaper price point because you're using the promo code down below. While doing my daily computing as well as my media consumption and my content creation, and dare I say, do a little bit of gaming on this particular monitor combined with my desktop PC, I had zero issues. Everything was really beautiful. The graphics were nice and sharp. The colors were nice and vibrant. And even though it's only 60 Hertz refresh rate, honestly, I didn't have any qualms with it. I didn't notice that it was 60 Hertz versus 120 Hertz. But again, I'm not doing like any super hardcore gaming or anything like that. I do like the fact that this portable monitor is meant for portability. However, if you wanted to, I don't know, have it as your main at-home desktop setup, you could definitely do that, because this 23.8-inch display is large enough for you to have as your kind of home office main display. However, if you're on the go a lot, it's just large enough to make sure that you have everything you need in terms of display size, but it's still small enough to be portable. And then kind of in this whole entire package, it all just kind of culminates into like two different options, either a stationary home setup or a portable on-the-go setup. Okay, so there are two more things I want to talk about before we actually get to the review of this portable monitor. Number one is going to be the two built-in speakers of this particular display. And I would have to say they're not great. They're not horrible. I've had other portable monitors in the past, and this one actually sounds decent. It does provide qualitative sound, but don't expect it to be overly thumpy or overly bassy. The volume of the speakers are going to be best heard in a more quiet environment. If you are going to be using this in, like, I don't know, the ferry or a loud office environment, if it's a loud environment, you're not really going to be able to hear the audio out of this particular monitor. You will be able to hear something, but again, in a louder environment, it's not going to be the best situation. For a portable monitor, I would have to say it's pretty good. Now, the other thing that I want to talk to you about is going to be this right here. This actually comes with the actual packaging. I forgot to unbox it, but this is actually going to be the proprietary carrying case for this 24-inch monitor. You can see here that it has two zippers at the top, and it has two handles, and then inside is super padded with kind of like velvet or maybe some microfiber fabric inside, so that way whenever you do decide to use this particular monitor as a portable office, or maybe you're on the go as you should be with a portable monitor, it's going to be nice and safe in here. I do want to say that there is no kind of hard material inside here, so make sure that if you are going to be subjecting your portable monitor to any places where it may potentially bend, this carrying case is not going to be the case that protects your monitor from any types of bends. On the front side of this case, you then have one zipper. This is going to be absolutely pivotal to put all those wires and adapters that came with the UPERFECT T3 monitor. Okay, so at the end of the day, my review for the T3 UPERFECT 23.8 inch 4K high dynamic range 60 Hertz portable monitor, that's a mouthful to say. It's actually really good. It's not perfect because of the fact that the speaker quality is not the best, but overall, just kind of all of the technical specs that I just listed is actually a really good device for the price point. Again, you want to make sure you check the link down below because the price seems to fluctuate a little bit. And then also there's a tariff trade war going on. So if you are ordering this in the United States, you might be paying an extra penny because, again, tariffs. But overall, this monitor is going to be perfect for those of you who are on the go and you want to do gaming, you want to do media consumption, you want to do your daily computing tasks, and then also the flexibility of using this portable monitor as your main desk monitor because of the built-in kickstand that allows you to have different types of angles, as well as the optional 75 by 75 millimeter VESA mounting portion on the back. The 4K screen is nice and crisp. The 60 Hertz display is nice and buttery smooth. The high dynamic range makes all the colors really pop and vibrant. The 178-degree viewing angle allows you to look at this monitor from different perspectives or angles, and you still get to experience the high definition resolution as well as the color vibrancy. The screen is a matte screen. Additionally, I didn't like that because I felt like if the screen was glossy, then I'd have a better kind of clarity. That's not true at all. I'm actually grateful that the screen is matte because it does reduce a lot of the reflection and the glare whenever you are in a brighter environment. The 16:9 aspect ratio is really good because it allows for kind of your streaming services to have a more natural look, as well as your gaming devices. Again, it has that more natural aspect ratio. I do like the fact that it has two USB-C ports and one HDMI port. Again, if your device is strong enough and it outputs enough power delivery via USB-C, you don't have to have a dedicated power delivery wire connected to this. I do recommend that you always have a dedicated power delivery, just in case your device goes into power saving mode or maybe goes into like sleep mode. You are able to continue to have power to this device, but again, it's not required. It's just situational to the device that you're using. The customizable buttons on the side over here do allow for sRGB, which is going to allow for 100% color gamut, meaning that you can kind of customize the colors that you want to see here. And I do like that I have that option to do so. And so the last thing that I love about this kind of whole entire package, when UPERFECT sent me out this portable monitor to review, I didn't have to worry about any types of wires. Everything was included. All of the adapters were inside of the box. There was a power delivery brick. I mean, like I said, it was all inclusive and I didn't have to think about having to have the correct wires. With UPERFECT adding all the wires in there, it kind of takes all of the guessing game out of the equation, so that way you know what type of wires you need for what types of devices. And then to add on top of that, you do get a carrying case, which I wasn't expecting, but it was in the packaging. And so again, it's just all inclusive. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am actually loving this portable monitor. If you are interested in more of my content from product reviews, tech accessory reviews, unboxing, and just me being kind of crazy and silly, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I do quite a lot of giveaways on this channel, anything from accessories to game consoles and other things. So again, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.